A book is a man's best companion because it is always there. It never leaves us alone. It is there with us even when everyone else is gone. Books guide us, instruct us, make us laugh, inform us, inspire us, and are always true to us. My favorite book is Peter Pan. It is a fairy tale. I love the character of Peter. He lives in fantasies. He is a child who never wants to grow up, and he never does. He enjoys thrills and adventures and even takes the kids from Earth on a merry adventure.
All home tutors are required to undertake a training program. Home tutor scheme staff then match home tutors with a student, based on a range of factors such as previously stated preferences, locations, and availability, or assign home tutors to center-based activities, such as classroom support or conversation groups.
Barr begins Chapter 1 by taking the reader on a helicopter time machine ride, giving a fascinating account of how the New York landscape in 1609 might have looked from the sky. He then moves on to a subterranean walking tour of the city, indicating the location of rock and water below the subsoil, before taking the reader back to the surface.
Chapter 5 also has an interesting discussion of the technological advances that led to the construction of skyscrapers. For example, the introduction of iron and steel skeletal frames made thick, load-bearing walls unnecessary, expanding the usable square footage of buildings and increasing the use of windows and availability of natural light.
Chapter 4 focuses on immigration and the location of neighborhoods and tenements in the late 19th century. Barr identifies 4 primary immigrant enclaves and analyses their locations in terms of the amenities available in the area. Most of these enclaves were located on the least valuable land, between the industries located on the waterfront and the wealthy neighborhoods bordering Central Park.
English literature is a broad term for all English language literature that has been produced throughout history. Literature that is typically read in translation into English is not considered English literature. English literature dates back centuries and is very important to study for several reasons.
Many such stadiums are situated in suburban areas, designed for sporting use only and surrounded by parking lots. These factors mean that they may not be as accessible to the general public, require more energy to run and contribute to urban heat.
Middle English was a midway point between Old English and Contemporary English. While it is still quite different from the English that most people are familiar with today, it is more or less readable for contemporary English speakers.
On June 20, 1942, she mentions how her class is nervous about their results. The author says that the only subject she is unsure about is mathematics. She and her friend, Dev, are trying to stop the students from making noise, but to no avail. According to the author, about the quarter of the class should not pass as they do not participate in any activities.
Palm oil is an edible oil derived from the fruit of the African oil palm tree, and is currently the most consumed vegetable oil in the world. It's almost certainly in the soap we wash with in the morning, the sandwich we have for lunch, and the biscuits we snack on during the day.
She also devised a special reel to draw the fibers from the cocoon into a single thread so that they would be strong enough to be woven into fabric. While it is unknown just how much of this is true, it is certainly known that silk cultivation has existed in China for several millennia.
These days online reading has replaced traditional books to a large extent. Internet, Facebook, Twitter have decreased interest in reading. But, the truth is that books cannot be totally replaced. Books can never go out of life, although they may exist in a different form. The Metropolitan Line, which opened on January 10, 1863, was the world's first underground railway. On its first day, almost 40,000 passengers were carried between Paddington and Farringdon, the journey taking about 18 minutes. By the end of the Metropolitan's first year of operation, 9.5 million journeys had been made. This has been a problem for a while now. Frederick Taylor was one of the forefathers of scientific management. Writing in the first half of the 20th century, he designed a number of principles to improve the efficiency of the work process, which has since become widespread in modern companies. So the approach has been around for a while. We seek to improve learners' experience of educational college and help them to aspire, achieve and progress. We must embed equality and diversity in everything we do, both as a provider and an employer. We hope to prepare our students for work, higher education and citizenship, equipping our staff with the skills to meet this agenda.